Welcome to Late Night in Canada. My name's Brittlestar. What? It can be a boy's name. Thursday, May 21st, and the news is still, as you might guess, full of information about the lockdown and reopening plans in each province. But this is interesting. Calgary and Edmonton airports will be scanning arriving passengers with an infrared temperature sensing device. Fascinating. Though Canada's chief public health officer said that checking someone for a fever to determine if they have COVID-19 is not effective at all, like at all. But Calgary and Edmonton airports will also be screening passengers for trace amounts of granola scraps to keep people from BC out. That's probably pretty effective. I was actually once offered a ride by a friend when I was in Vancouver, and on the phone before he picked me up, he apologized because he said his car was a bit untidy inside. He has 2 kids, and I'm a parent. I've been there, so I assured him that riding in a car with the odd stale French fry or scattered Cheerios was no big deal to me. No, he said, it's granola. I thought he was making a West Coast joke. The granola eating hippies on the left coast. But no, he wasn't kidding. The car was matted with granola in the back seat. How do you even pass granola to a child? Do you trust them with a bag of it? Or do you just throw handfuls in the general direction of the car seat and hope that some lands in the kid's mouth? I know you're hungry, Windsong. Here's some granola. Sleet, leave your sister alone. Windsong and Sleet, they seem like BC names to me. I don't know why. An article in today's Toronto Star stated that according to a recent poll, because of the obvious physical and mental health benefits, most Canadians are eager to return to organized sports. Mainly because it's really hard to understand who's winning in disorganized sports. I believe the Ottawa Randos beat the Saskatchewan Those Guys by 47 touchdowns under par and won the Grey Stanley this year. We have a great show for you. The incomparable Bif Naked is here, and musical guest Tyler Lorette. We'll be right back. Promotional consideration for Late Night in Canada is brought to you by Social Media North, presented by Club Coffee. Social Media North, an online social media convention, so you don't have to smell anyone. Tonight's guest is the amazing singer-songwriter, actor, and motivational speaker, and currently the family chef, the inimitable Bif Naked. Biff, how are you?
Hello, I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm so good, and I'm so excited to see you, to actually chat with you, because of course, everybody knows you. You've been so prominent, and you do so many cool things. And I think I said to you before we hit record that I'm so happy that you're as animated as I hoped you would be.
Well, God bless. That's all I can. God bless. It's very kind. Thank you. Ditto, right back at you. And yeah, what a wonderful time it is. I keep saying that these days are actually kind of serendipitous in a way. A, we'll always remember them.
Yeah.
But B, big kids like you and I get to meet.
I know.
And so that's a really great side effect, actually, of everyone being kind of stuck at home.
I've been calling it this time right now a period of forced opportunity.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
That's very positive.
Well, I'm pretty heady. I'm a pretty smart guy.
Good. Very good.
Listen, so you've been holding up okay. It's been weird times. What's been taking up your time these days? What have you been doing? What's the fun stuff you've been doing?
Well, everything is fun. I am married to a kiss collector. So that's a different animal altogether than a regular human being.
Kiss the band?
He happens to be my guitar player as well, which is great, very convenient for us both. But he collects Kiss, and so I live in a Kiss museum basically with dolls, but I'm not allowed to call them dolls. They're like animated figures or something, but I call them his dolls or his men. Also, we have a pinball machine. It's a Kiss pinball machine, and just and he's got like 30 or 40 guitars, and it's madness. It's madness all the time. And I'm trying to finish 2 books. I keep telling him, Mommy needs peace and quiet to write, but that's okay. Falling on deaf ears, because I just go, well, eventually the lockdown will end.
Now, are you aware of this addiction, this that he had before you connected with him at all?
Yes, I always say I love weddings, especially my own. And so Snake and I, we got married in 2016. We're both, adults now in our 40s. He's my third husband. I'm his second wife. And we have a ball. We laugh every single day. And his kiss obsession, he brought to the table. And mine, of course, I'm obsessed with all things cute and animals. I'm obsessed with animals and cute animals. I cry once a day over some, plight of an animal, or collectively animals. And so it's the trade-off, my tears and his obsession with Kiss.
Do you have many animals of your own? Like, do you have lots of pets?
Well, I am a very famous dog mom in that I had 2 dogs that came with me on my tours from about, I'm going to say 1997 onward. And they were cantankerous animals. In fact, my son, who I call my son, I lied to him. I told him I gave birth to him. He was a Maltese, but he bit Jackie Chan on the ankle. I know you told me not to say anything libelous, but I got to share with you. He really did do that. We lived in Vancouver, and Mr. Chan was very polite about it, and because it's a little white fluffy dog, even though he's really a piranha disguised in a fluffy suit.
Sure.
But they passed away, and my eldest dog was 17 when he died, and I met my husband 30 days later. So I believe the cantankerous, gnashing little thing went into the body of this Kiss fan that I wound up marrying.
That's fantastic. So have any of your other pets bit any famous people?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I'm working on it.
So tell me, I wanted to ask you, and you can tell, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but one of the things I find interesting to me is that, of course, I go by the name Brittlestar online, and it's ridiculous for me to be a fully grown middle-aged man going under the moniker Brittlestar. But it's just become a thing. And so people refer to me as Brittlestar. There's really good friends of mine who will just call me Brittlestar. And it's like, my actual name, but it's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
Now, with the name Bif Naked, have you had weird sort of experiences doing things, or people calling you that? Like, how is that whole thing with you, with that name change?
Well, the problem is the naked part. So now this might not seem like a problem to most people, but for me, for example, at the grocery store or trying to pump gas, it becomes a little bit awkward if someone says, hey, you're Bif Naked. And then, generally if someone's nearby who's not a music fan, kind of thinks I might be a porn person.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's never happened to me. No one's ever mistaken me for a porn person.
There's nothing wrong with that, but of course I'm a singer, so it's a little different. I bet it's a different tax bracket too. I don't know for sure, but I've been mistaken for a wrestler before. I was very proud of that, and other than that, there's not much else they can mistake me for. But naked has been a bit of an obstacle over the years.
Well, I mean, it's such a great name. It's fantastic. And as I said at the start of the interview, you're just so well known and you're so well loved, and you've been like such a vital part of popular culture in Canada and the world, which is amazing, which is fantastic. But you're also known for being tattooed. You have a fair number of tattoos. Is that correct?
I am, and
Yeah.
I get to wear grown-up lady clothes right now, but I have Yeah, if it was 100 years ago, I'd be a circus star,
So tell
but
me
it's
this.
not. It's not. And now it's not. Now it's not popular what I have. Right now I have the very typical Generation X girl, riot girl tattoos, and
Right.
now the young ladies who have tattoos have man, they have tattoos all over their legs and
Yeah.
hands and faces and stuff. I'm actually really quite I'm quite a square.
So tell me, is there with I don't want like a sad story. I want like a nice story or a funny story. Is there any? My dad has tattoos, and my dad has always said to me, if I ever got a tattoo, he would kill me. Because I don't know why. Well,
Oh,
I think reason why is that he had a tattoo on this arm. I might have got that backwards. I hope my mom doesn't watch this. On this arm that had his former girlfriend and fiance's name on it, and then they broke up, and he started going out with my mom. My mom said, blacken out her name and put one on this arm. So he has one with my mom's name on this arm.
very
So
nice.
it's the Scottish Romeo and Juliet story, basically, is what it is. And
Yes.
so he's always said to me, don't get tattoos. So it's always fascinated me because I feel that there's so, like, you're making a permanent decision somewhat.
Yes.
Do you have any tattoos where you're like, oh God, why did I get that tattoo?
Well, we were talking earlier about being from the prairies. Basically, I spent my formative years in the prairies, and nice girls come from the prairies.
Hmm.
But that being said, and I had a Minnesota mother. That being said, my sisters and I, we can't say no. Popular in high school, by the way. So what I did was tattoo no on my wrist so I wouldn't have to say it. I wouldn't have to verbalize. I could just
Right.
go. It never worked. It never worked. It's never worked for me. It was a waste of time and money and pain. But my coming out of these times and this COVID-19 coronavirus 2020 year of chaos that we're in, I know a lot of people are gonna get tattoos to
Hmm.
commemorate basically
Right.
getting through the year.
Yeah, yeah, of
And
course.
I am as well. I am as well. I keep threatening my very nice husband as I get older that I'm going to get hand tattoos.
Right.
Like all the cool kids down in California have. And especially as a girl aging, I think that I need to start camouflaging and getting more tattoos. It might look like a convict, but it'll be cool. I'm going to get pay me in like big letters. I'm like, either that or knuckle tattoos,
Yeah.
dead meat or like,
Right.
something tough, something really tough.
So tell me, what's next for you? What do you do? What are you working on currently, and what can we look forward to?
Well, gosh, I tell you, we've got a record coming out this fall. It's called Champion, and that was something that we had been planning since January. We had our first single was released in February. We have two more coming down the pipe, and then of course, instead of touring in the summer, those tours have been pushed back to the fall. Hopefully, they are still able to go forward, and that's going to start in October with Buck Cherry and Age of Days. So really looking forward to that.
Amazing. That's so exciting. That's fantastic news. Well, we look forward to what you're going to be doing next, as always. It's always exciting. It's always like a cool thing. And I think, again, I'm just so, you're like a living cartoon right now. It's in the best possible way.
Oh, good.
I love it. I love it.
Yay.
Thank you so much for your time, Biff. I really appreciate it.
And thank you. Stay healthy.
We'll be right back. Promotional consideration for Late Night in Canada is brought to you by Social Media North, presented by Club Coffee. Social Media North, an online social media convention, so you don't have to smell anyone. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Lorette.
I need you in my life, you're my paradise. Bury you in an avalanche of ice. No, you'll never get tired of this life. You don't need to think about it, just let me worry about it. Don't turn on me, baby. Yeah, don't turn on me, baby. Inhale, take a deep breath. Don't turn on me, baby, yeah. Don't turn on me, baby. And now take a deep breath. Can we just be? Don't turn on me, baby. Don't turn on me, baby.
That's it for the show. Listen, we've loved doing this show, and if you'd like us to continue, please like and share. And feel free to let us know who you'd like to see on the show by tagging them in the comments. We're off next week for Social Media North. Hopefully see you there. But we'll be back on Monday, June 1st. Stay well. Good night.